Hey, what's up you guys, Raleigh G here, and for today's video it's actually going to be a different one. So this week I'm going to be starting a new series called Niche Week, where every day from Monday through Friday I'm going to be saying 5 books on a different niche for every day of the week. So this first one is going to be non-fiction slash astrophysics, because that's sort of my non-fiction interest and stuff like that. So these are going to be 5 books that I recommend for everybody if you're interested in like cosmology, astrophysics, astronomy, that kind of thing. So the first one is going to be A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Now I have the Briefer History of Time by Stephen Hawking. This is the book right here. It's not that thick. But I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it goes over like everything from the beginning of the universe towards, I guess, now, depending on wherever they finish the book. They go through, well, at least in this version, they go through everything in more concise, more quicker fashion. But I do definitely recommend something by Stephen Hawking, but if anything, A Brief History of Time. My second recommendation is called Cosmology by Sten Odenwald, which I have the book right here. So basically, it's the tagline is everything you need to know to master the subject in one book. And basically, I've already read through most of it, as you can see by my book tag right here. It goes through everything like stars and galaxies, cosmogenesis, measuring the universe, particle physics, the standard model, relativity, and so much more, including like dark matter, dark energy. One of these chapters, cosmic expansion. It goes through everything. So pretty much like the chapter that I'm on is the first stars and galaxies, and it goes through galaxies, the early universe, the Big Bang, all that good stuff. So this is pretty much like I've read some places call it a degree in a book. This is pretty much one of them. So if you're into astronomy, especially cosmology, this is definitely the book for you. Now the next book that I recommend, which I don't have, this next 3 books I don't have, but I have read them. One of them is Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now that one is a pretty short book. It's a small book, and it goes from the very beginning, from the Planck era, like the Big Bang, Planck era, and it goes through the first couple of chapters, like the first couple of seconds of the history of the universe and what begins in like each, pretty much every second. Something happens and then it gets farther and farther and more spaced out in time towards the present day, and then even to what will happen in the future. So it's a pretty short book. It's not like too technical, even though it can get pretty detailed sometimes. It's not too technical and too hard of a book. There's another version called Astrophysics for People in a Bigger Hurry, I think, which is like with the Stephen Hawking book. It's a shorter, it's a shorter, more concise book. But I do definitely recommend for people to read it too. Now my next 2 recommendations are by one of the most forward-leading fathers of like cosmology and stuff, and like if you know anything about astrophysics or astronomy, you've definitely heard of him. For a person called Carl Sagan. So this first one is called A Pale Blue Dot, which is just like an astronomy book, but it's more of like the theory of astronomy and more theories and stuff like that. More about looking out from in. And if you know the pale blue dot picture, it's basically a picture taken from one of the spacecraft, I forgot which one it was, and looking back at us, and you see a pale blue dot, which is Earth. Which is a really cool picture. I definitely recommend. I'm probably gonna put it like on screen somewhere, like on here, I guess on this side. I'm gonna put a picture here of what the pale blue dot is. So I definitely recommend people to read it. And the next book, like I said, is by Carl Sagan, called Cosmos, which is pretty much the same thing, but more of just cosmology and stuff in general. Now this one I haven't read yet, but it's definitely recommended within like the astrophysics community, and obviously I'm gonna agree to it. Like I said, it's by Carl Sagan, so I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with this one. It's definitely a recommended book though, so I recommend you guys read it too. And maybe one day I'll pick it up and do a review for you guys. Yeah, those are my 5 recommendations for people that are wanting to go into astronomy or astrophysics or anything like that. So basically this video was more about astronomy nonfiction. But if you guys do want more recommendations, I'm happy to look for more recommendations and put them down in the comments for whichever you guys want more of. And yeah, so this week is going to be a niche week. So for today's videos, nonfiction / astrophysics. For the next 4 days, the topics are going to be romance, LGBTQ+, young adult books, and for Kindle Unlimited if you have that. So I definitely recommend make sure to subscribe and make sure to put on notifications so you guys will know whenever I upload. But for this week, it's going to be every day. So I guess I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.